what a wonderful thing that is you also inspired by a man who has a kind of, probably it's a kind of identification, a little bit, a very pre-identification of yours when met a man with a bad mouth smell.
Like odor.
Yeah. Is that also meaning that the gut condition can also impact to our mental health or something?
Yeah, it was to me a pretty intense experience in my life, because he was he killed himself the next day, and I of course didn't know this would happen, but it made me really be in shock a little bit, because I had just sat next to him and I had smelled, something with his breath is so off. And when this happened, it made me start read, can there be a link? Like, can sadness make you have different bacteria, or can different bacteria make you more sad? Was like one thing that I even thought about. And so this was something that hit really close to my heart. I was actually really sad when it happened, and shocked a bit. And this sometimes can motivate you, I think, to really dig deeper into something. So this was an event that made me dig deeper into that. And I saw that there was quite a lot of research. And of course, there are many reasons to be unhappy and sad. And this is not as simple as just the gut does that. But the gut has a role in it, which I found interesting, at least, because you can change your gut more easy sometimes than you can change your genetics, So this is why I thought, it's relevant that people know this. Even for some, it might not play a big role. For others, it might play a bigger role. So, yeah. And then when you look at the mouth bacteria, because we also have a microbe in the mouth, it is actually quite influential. Like, people tend to overlook how important it is. And you see that in pregnant women, the bacteria that sometimes pass the placenta to get to the baby, those are predominantly from the mouth. So this is why they can sometimes even be the first bacteria in the gut of the baby. So there's a more direct link that I also was not aware of before I started reading about it. And I think this was an opener for me. The topic opened up for me at that point. And of course, but can have other causes. Don't get me wrong. Mostly it is
sure.
When there's something with the teeth wrong, and then sometimes it can really be the microbiome being not doing so well, like having wrong balances.
Yeah. Also, is it correct that gut also relevant to like mood swing or whatever it is?
Yeah. When you think about it, it does make, it sounds funny, right? The gut, my mood, why, how? And then when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense, because the brain is very isolated in a bony skull. It has a thick skin around it that filters every drop of blood, but it needs information so that it can create a feeling of how am I doing? Like, what is the feeling when you're in the bathtub and you go under the water? Like, how do I feel there? And this comes from information from the body. And the gut is the largest internal surface area. And it also has the most nerve cells after the central nervous system. So it's like, that's why people say it's the second brain, but it collects information from the blood, from the hormones, from the immune system, from the bacteria, from how our nutrition is. And it sends all these very essential, very relevant information through nerves mostly, but also through the blood to the brain. And it also sends own hormones to the brain. And the brain will catch all this information and put it into the feeling of, how am I doing at this moment? Do I feel stable? Do I feel good? Do I feel a bit shaky? Do I feel, this is an information where multiple sources come in, and the gut is one relevant source for this. So this is why it makes sense. And now we have over 20 years of research on this topic, actually. It started in the late 90s. So it was very few research in the beginning and became more and more and more. And now we know the role in depression. We know the role in Parkinson's. We know the role in mood swings, in compulsive or just being impulsive. Like, I need to eat this now, or I get really angry, or I'm very afraid all the time. Like, in all of these things, the gut microbes have been shown to play a role. They are not the single cause, but they're as one factor of it, and it can be influenced more easily often than other factors leading to the same problem. So that's why I'm so passionate about really telling people in easy and fun, because it is easy and fun once you understand it, but it makes you have a grip. You're not like, oh, I'm the victim of my body. You're like, oh, okay, this can happen. What can we do together, you know? So that's why I like it, to explain it.
We would like to have a kind of tagline for our talk show today. Thanks God that you become the mother of God.
I love
Thank you so much. So it's really inspiring. So we have a Q&A session. Okay, first probably to Natasha Putri. You want to open mic?
Yes, Kak.
Okay, please go ahead, Natasha Putri.
So I've been having difficulty managing my stress lately, and I saw the effect on stress on my stomach, where I often felt stomach ache, and I felt like there was gas in my stomach. So if I experience stress for a long period, can it trigger me to having more serious disease like colon cancer and other serious disease? And apart from good stress management, what kind of food that the doctor suggests or recommend for our health, and it is also good for our digestive system? I think that's all. Thank you.
So the basic science behind this, or aspects of it, is that when we are in stress, the nervous system will activate nerves that will contract the blood vessels of the gut. So it will be less, there will be less blood going through it. And you can even see this when you go with a camera in the gut. It turns a little bit more pale, like a little bit more white, because there's less blood when you're stressed in the gut. And when you really relax, like you have this one moment a day where you're getting really calm and cozy, then you can see that it gets more blood. And with blood, the gut can produce more mucus. And mucus is like a protective layer. So when there's food aspects that are not so good, or bacteria, the mucus will protect the gut cells from having direct contact. So when we have a relaxation moment, we have more mucus, we have more blood going through. So this is why when you have a lot of stress over a longer time, then suddenly everything starts to be a bit more sensitive. The gut can be a bit more sensitive to pain. And the bacteria can change because of the stress, because the environment of them is different. So this is why you can experience problems with digestions like you explained. And one of the things that would be desirable would be to, at least while you're eating or shortly after eating, just have for like 5 minutes somehow, like there are some relaxation techniques where you can just have a moment where you shortly, just shortly break the cycle and feel really relaxed. Like either you do progressive muscle relaxation, or you have something where you just go in a room and you let a little bit loose, you shake the stress off. Like this would be desirable. And because also what we see in studies is that it's good to have at least one moment of complete relaxation a day. And this is nice if you have it in the middle of the day, because if you don't, you might have sleep problems, and they can also go in the gut. If you don't sleep well, the gut is not relaxed so well because it builds cells also during sleep. And in terms of food, you can say that when you are sometimes there is just stress in life. This is part of life. It's not about ignoring stress or not having it, right? But you can try during a day of high level stress to eat bit more light, absorb, like easy things that are easy to digest. And easy to digest is like not too much grease, and also not too much vegetables with all the fiber, but like have light and easy small meal, like just rice and one kind of or two kind of vegetables, and not too much of it, and no alcohol. Like keep it easy for the gut during stress, because it has less resources to digest. And then when you're really relaxed, then you can have more food, and then if it goes too long, the stress, then you will realize I need to eat more, but then you also need less stress. So it's I know it's not as easy, but trying to find that balance. And also what has been shown is that probiotics can help during stress to release digestive problems, because they change the bacteria in the gut. So if it's like kefir or probiotic product or probiotic yogurt drink, this can help during times of stress, and it can also improve sleep quality during stress. Those are the studies that I know about this. Did this help a little?
Yeah.
Yes, it really helps. Thank you, doctor.
Yes.
Thank you, Natasha Putri, for your question. What a great question.